So maybe you're in the spiritual industry or esoteric industry, maybe you're a life coach, maybe you're a healer, and you're having a tough time really marketing yourself. This is the video to watch. Let's get it.
I'm inspired. I'm inspired.
Hey there guys, how's it going? My name is Sumedh Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach, which means that I help you feel better and perform better. In this video, I'm talking about marketing yourself as a spiritual entrepreneur, okay? So essentially, the main thing you want to understand is authentic branding, okay? Which means you don't want to come across as like salesy or forced. Like a lot of these sales people, they're not going to be in your niche and industry. You know, when you see this kind of pushy salesperson like trying to get you to buy in the last second, those kind of sales tactics aren't really made to nurture the more spiritually inclined target audience or clients. Like, at least that's what I've noticed. Like, you got to be really subtle with your marketing in the sense of you want to play the long-term game, right? And the best thing that you can do is just be genuine, man. Just honestly be genuine and speak in the most truthful, real, raw, authentic, unfiltered way that you can. Like, that's just the best advice that I can give you. Also, you want to have a brand name or a brand logo that's memorable. How come all of these brands, like, you know, the Nike, KFC, all these brands, they're very recognizable because they're in the collective unconscious of the population, right? They're in the collective consciousness of the population. People are thinking about these brands all the time, right? They're like, oh, let's go to KFC, or here, I heard that one story of KFC, or, you know, oh, Nike did this, or oh, hey, it's kind of, they're using a metaphor, but then they're using Nike as the metaphor, you know what I mean? And Nike is like the god of speed or something like that too, I believe, right? So it's like, these images are being created. The first law of alchemy, right, of the Hermetic principles is that all is mind, the law of mentalism. So you've got to understand that every single great idea once started in somebody's mind. The word etymology for idea means to see, also to form, or to pattern is from the Greek idean, right, which means to see something. So it's all based on the images. The imagery is what sells, okay? The imagery enters your reptilian mind. Okay, this is why survival sells. This is why fear sells. Okay, you don't want those survival and fear sales tactics. Sex sells too, right? And I see a lot of spiritual, like tantra coaches and stuff, like really flaunting and showing their body to make a sale on their product, right? Enhance your pleasure in 6 weeks or whatever, and then you show like a side boob or something, you know what I mean? Like, that's one way to go about it. But I really want you to understand that, am I entering the conversation in people's minds? People have a conversation, they have a self-talk, they have a conversation that they're having with their friends, a conversation that they're having with themselves, and a third conversation that they're having with God or the universe, right? So understand that there's these three conversations happening. I saw someone who did a brilliant spiritually inclined ad, and I almost wanted to click on it because it was so cool. And it wasn't even an ad selling something, it was a free thing, right? It was a free promotional thing. But the way she framed it was so brilliant and beautiful, which was the source, like source energy, right, slapped me in the face this morning and told me that give it away for free. I said, what? Give it away for free? No way, I don't want to. Are people gonna even try this? But then my spirit guides, you know, it was like my spirit guide slapped me in the face and told me that to give away my product for free. And though it has this benefit, I was kind of considering it. But hey, maybe tomorrow the price might change and source might tell me to give it for this original amount that it costs, which is like $1,000 or whatever. So for right now, if you DM me shadow work, you know, you can get it, the whole thing, for free. And that foot in the door technique that she used is very, very clever, because she's going, hey, like this higher power, right, is controlling her decisions for it. And I know it's kind of silly, it's kind of quirky, but I think it's quite an intelligent marketing tool to really use. You know, I used to have a podcast with my friend called the Better Man Podcast. Check out those episodes, by the way. There's also a YouTube channel, the Better Man Podcast, where I've been in Sumedh. And we were primarily marketing to spiritually inclined men. The thing is, the spiritual industry has made men so effeminate rather than actually embrace their masculinity and their yang energy, that we were actually marketing to the guys who were like tired of that, you know, and we were just like, hey, listen, you need to be an integrated man. You don't just need to be, softer and more, surrender all the time and then go into your yin quality so much that you go into the magical Gnostic world and then completely cut yourself off from reality and like be a lone wolf. That's not the kind of vibe that we were going for. We were going for the highly integrated man who's also looking after his physicality, looking after his health, looking after his finances, out into the world, also highly spiritual, guided by source, has spirit guides, works with them, has a spirit animal, highly tapped in. We were going for that. And so we knew the target market that we were going for in mind. And though a bunch of the stuff we say is kind of very raw, truthful, atrocious, just a bunch of silly stuff, we got some really, really good fans of the podcast. Like 2 weeks ago, someone sent me, send me the alchemy list. He got it from one of the podcast episodes, right? Somebody else was like, hey, I listened to your podcast. I'm like the biggest fan of these episodes. Keep going. Would you ever make an episode on this topic? This kind of stuff that is really awesome to see, honestly. Like, when you were tapped in to your community and you have that line that is in an emotional cord that you're connecting to from your heart to their hearts, it's a powerful experience. It's not even marketing, right? It's not even marketing. It's like you sharing so much value that people get a sense that you're not messing around. Like, you have something that you can give, and it's also something that you can share that isn't coming off in a weird, sketchy way that most marketers are trying to do. But what you're doing is you're doing it differently. You're doing it differently because nobody does it in this raw, authentic way anymore. Everybody tries to, be politically correct. Everybody tries to make things more smaller than they are, or really exaggerate it to the point where it's like just ridiculous. There's no purity left in the marketing world. So when you can bring that vibe of purity, of just being chill, not like a moral high ground like type stuff, a lot of people, they have these big spiritual products and it's like, this is sustainable and family friendly and like nature friendly and super friendly. We're just friendly people, we're just friendly, but then we want your money too, but we're also friendly, and that kind of marketing really is kind of cringy, to me at least. To me, maybe not to you, maybe you like that vibe, maybe you buy products like that, that's cool, but there's a lot of people who can't walk that fine line of really making a product where they understand their customer and they're speaking to what's going on in the conversation in their minds that they're already having, right? Maybe they're wondering like, how do I even do this dating game thing from a spiritual lens, How do I do that? Like, there's all this pickup artist stuff that I don't resonate with. There's a lot of dating market stuff that I don't resonate with. Like, how do I go about doing spiritual dating or conscious dating, And that's a new niche. That's a new niche to explore, right? And nobody's touching that field. So it's really important for you to tap in to the areas, the niches, the gaps, the lacunes, as you would say, the gaps in the marketplace, right? What are the gaps in the marketplace? What is things that people are missing? I just posted this today. Check it out. Boom. Basically, you want to know what hurts your heart the most about the world. And where is your gifts, your talents, your skills, your flow state gift, right? What is your flow state mastery? And then find the midpoint of that, and that's where you're called to serve. That is your service. That's the best way that I could describe it. Also, speak into the listing of people's emotions. People buy emotionally, then justify using logic. If you can speak into people's emotions, what kind of emotions do you want people to feel as they're using your product, as they're using your website, as they're using whatever it is that you're trying to sell, right? Can you possibly tap into any of these emotions? Ask yourself, really. Okay? I'm definitely following the AZD business model, you know what I mean? Having a Telegram page, posting on YouTube, posting content that is polarizing or different, posting memes. The whole meme marketing thing is also very interesting because a meme is an idea, again, right? It's an idea, it's a pop culture idea that spreads. And it spreads like wildfire. This is why memes become so popular. So if you can use memes to market, it's just another level of marketing. A lot of people can't pull it off and they can't do it in a great way. It looks kind of try hard, like, oh, look at me, I'm using this meme to show off. But it's like you can find the right meme and it can come off as nonchalant, but also just like really, really tapped into your branding and product. It becomes such a powerful thing to use meme. That's why I post memes most days, because the power of them is that it's an image that has an emotional reaction. It makes people laugh, it makes people tap into the branding, and you really start to understand that your brand value is matching up with the brand product and who you're being. So you got to be truthful in yourself, and that's got to be the brand. You are the brand. That's the thing. You've got to embody the brand. And so I constantly keep that in mind, when I'm even dressed out in public like this. Like, I think that this is actually like this kind of ripped, shirt, the chakra pendant, this kind of earthy aventurine type of necklace, right? Thing that I just bought, which is this awesome little nugget from Deli Hut. When I go shopping, I'm keeping in mind the shamanic theme. I'm keeping in mind why the shaman, right? Why have I chosen the shaman as the archetype for myself, the creative archetype for myself? The modern day shaman, the futurist shaman, the one, the shaman who's came from the future and is trying to solve the peak performance industry today. So I see him almost as like an extraterrestrial linguist. Like, I see the shaman as a mix of a philosopher, a poet, which I am. I'm a rapper, right? A philosopher, a poet, and a medicine man all at once. Both my parents are doctors, right? They're both doctors. I have medicine in my blood, in a sense. I have the idea of health and healing in my blood already. So I've got to be in a healing field. I just know it in some way. Now, even if it's not in your connected in genetic lineage, like, of course, you don't have to do the same thing that your parents did. I'm not a doctor, I'm a positive psychologist, but it's just close enough that I'm tapping into that genetic healing potential, like, bloodline. You know what I mean? So you gotta be like, oh man, my great-great-grandfather was like an engineer, so maybe I can use the ideas of engineering in what I'm doing, and I can tap into that genetic bloodline, or the chi line sometimes even. Like, the chi line is even more powerful because it's the energetic line of your ancestors. So when you can use that in your marketing through your product or whatever you're doing in such a way, even if you have a 9-to-5, you can still use the strength of your ancestors to move forward. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a powerful thought that it's gonna set you apart from all of your competition, because who else is really thinking like this? Who else is trying to create a brand that's so strong that resonates and takes over entire industries and just shuts them down? So in my conscious brand, I've always thought of myself as a blender, right? I've been blending two different ideas together. So you want to get really, really good at taking from different industries and then just blending, right? So right now, I and Ivan, for a writing reality program, which if you are interested, definitely shoot us a message, because this is this is a product that changes lives, right? So the graduates who've completed that program, also just the live calls with people, just the free 2-in-1 live calls with people, are so transformational, so transformational. And that product is all about reality creation, reality transurfing, manifestation, stepping into the version of ourselves that we want to, archetype integration, all this kind of stuff, right? Really playing the character that we want to play. It goes with my brand, which is, TPM, theatroplasticity method, theater and psychology, both of those together, with Ivan's brand, which is Life Masters. So he has all these different areas. He also looks into the healing arts as well as, body work. And I also look at body work and bioenergetics and things like that. So we both have a mind, body, spirit brand, right? So why not put two mind, body, spirit brands together and create an event together? Like, that's the best idea, right? I'm also doing events with other people. Right, I'm thinking of doing a future event with some women as well. I think it's just incredible when you can collaborate with others, right? Collaboration really starts to create that ripple effect, and it's very, very powerful when you can make business with somebody. You also create that closer bond with them, because, it's such a powerful thing. It's like you're growing together, right, in a sense. So you'll start to get people referring your products to other people if you just deliver on it, do a really, really good job, and you give them exactly what they're looking for. which is that confirmation, that permission slip to be their higher selves and really just step into that, you know? So I and Ivan, you know, we're starting to look for pins that we can send people, and like graduation certificates and things like this of people who are, you know, really stepping. I just got a message from Samba right now. He said, easily the most powerful day in my life, right? So we did a healing session yesterday. So these little messages, you know, it's so powerful and empowering for me to get these, because again, it puts me on the right map. It puts me on the right trajectory to really understand, like, look, I'm doing this way and it has a purpose, and it's very spidey senses intuitive. But the intuition, once you can trust in your own intuition as a guide, as a coach, as an intuitive coach, as an empath, as a born empath, you could say. Even some people are born empaths. I just realized that there's a term for this as well, where you're a miracle birth. You become an auto empath in a sense when you're born. Just think about this. Think about your branding. Think about your spirituality and how you can combine. There was also a masterclass a while back about blending a business and spirituality. It was a Genius Days. Go and check that one out for sure. There's a couple of other things. I mean, again, we've talked about this in my podcast, on the Better Man podcast as well, so check those out as well. I mean, the resources are out there, right? It's about really just like fine-tuning. And again, if you don't want to go through all of those podcasts and all of those materials and it's going to be such a, you know, just reach out to me. Reach out to me. I'm the one who's created those source material, you know what I mean? So go to the source, go to the person. So if you just reach out to me and you want to work with me, I mean, that's the best way to do it, you know what I mean? But anyway, have an incredible day, guys. May the flow be with you and stay legendary. Let's really get it today.